Does your life suck? It's probably your fault. You need to do better, and this video is for you. What's going on, guys? My name's Sebastian. This is my hot wife, Cheyenne, and then that's my hot child, Oliver. We're winners. You know why? Because we chose to be winners. We've been losers for a long time. She was a huge loser for a long time. I was a huge drug addict, loser, scumbag for a long time. Well, maybe not scumbag. I wasn't a great person. I was mentally all screwed up, but now I'm better. So that's what this video is going to be about. And we're going to teach you guys how to be better people. How are we going to teach them to be better people? Step one, you need to take ownership of your shit. If you have problems, if you're causing problems in people's lives, that is on you. If you're being a crybaby about everything, that is on you. And if you're living in some drama-filled cesspool because of your actions or your friends, whatever it may be, that is on you. There's no other excuses. It's your responsibility to make those changes in your life.
Sebastian said that I was a loser. He was absolutely right. He's not just being rude, it was true. So basically, I joined a cult when I was 18. I was in a cult in Texas. It was a Christian-based ministry. It was really toxic. And I can tell you guys that entire story if you're interested at another time. But basically, my view of reality was totally skewed. And I was really disillusioned. And so when I came back home, I was feeling very lost with my life. I had no direction. So for me, I'm like, oh, you know what'll fix all of my problems? Getting married. So I got married to somebody that I knew wasn't a great person. However, it was better than where I was at because I knew that I wasn't doing well. So got married to run away from all of my problems. Found myself in an abusive marriage. I was miserable. As you can guess, I am no longer with that person because I am married to Sebastian, but yeah, I ended up getting divorced and I was more lost than ever. And I came across a video that completely changed my life. I had experienced some narcissistic abuse from my ex-husband. So I was looking up videos to validate my pain. Like I just wanted somebody to tell me, you were wronged, you're a victim. I just wanted to feel better about what happened to me. And the video that I came across said, don't worry about what someone did to you. Don't worry about the ways that somebody wronged you. Look at yourself and ask yourself, what is broken in you that allowed that to happen in the first place? And it was the best advice that I had ever heard. And from that moment on, I realized I got myself into a bad situation because I was insecure, because I had no direction, and because I did not take ownership of my life. So from that point on, I started to do the work of healing what was broken inside of me. Shortly after I met Sebastian, and something that I never ever did to him, and he can attest to this, I never looked to him to fix my problems. My problems were mine. He was a very safe space for me to explore everything that I needed to and heal everything that I needed to. But ultimately, my life got better when I stopped playing victim and I stopped looking for other people to validate my brokenness, and I just owned my shit. My life got significantly better. I'm happier than I've ever been. So if you're in a situation where you feel victimized or you feel comfort in feeling like you've been wronged, ask yourself that question. What is broken in you that allows those things to happen? And I guarantee that once you start taking ownership of those things, your life's gonna get a lot better.
I, on the other hand, never joined a cult. I was the direct opposite. I never got involved in all that nonsense, and I have been a degenerate pretty much my whole life.
So we're a fun couple.
We're a fun couple, as you can tell by this video, super fun. I've had a crazy life my whole childhood. I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 12 years old off the ground. I did my first drug at like 13 or 14 or something with my best friend who was also a degenerate. And for the most part, I ran with the wrong crowd. Now, I never really hurt anyone. I was never really like a thief or I never like shot up heroin or anything. But I did do a lot of stuff that kids shouldn't be doing. I focused on the wrong things. I was never focused as a young man. And it took me a long time to get focused. It probably didn't happen until, I don't know, heck, what am I, 29? 29. Yeah, So I would say I started getting focused around 27, which is only 2 years ago, which is kind of crazy to say. I only realized what I really wanted, and that was I don't know what changed in me. I don't know if that was because I started listening to podcasts and got motivated and saw high-end people rambling about stuff, but I realized I was a loser for a long time. Even though I'm sure a lot of you guys know I was in culinary, I made it to a super high level as far as that's concerned, and I had several career paths that I don't want to say I was super successful, but I was determined in those. So I wasn't just like a loser my whole entire life, but I was just kind of floating by. I was just coasting through life. I was just going to work, just going to sleep, and smoking a bunch of weed and hanging out with the wrong people, drinking, all that good stuff that young men do, frolicking around with women of the night. So my life was clearly going absolutely nowhere. Now I have my own woman of the night and I possess her, so it makes life a lot easier, so I don't have to frolic anymore. And I also don't do drugs anymore, so that life is totally great.
The thing that changed in you, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, is when you found out that we were having a kid.
Yeah, that definitely changed. Once I knew we were having a kid, everything changed. Everything just kind of started to make a little bit more sense. And now, especially with him being, almost 1.5 years old, things are very different than they were even just a year ago when he was first born. Now my brain is so clear. There's so much clarity that the only goal in life is to be free. You need to be rich to be free. I don't care what you say. I'm not trying to be a dirty hobo down the street and pretend I'm free. No, I'm trying to be wealthy free, and I don't want her to ever have a job again. I don't ever want to have a job again. And I don't want Oliver to ever think that having a job is normal. I want to instill that entrepreneurial spirit in him, which no one really did for me. No one really supported my endeavors as a young man. Unfortunately, my family is all kind of distant. So going back to when I was a young man hanging out with my degenerate friends, I was doing that and just being reckless and careless because I didn't really have someone there to tell me hey dude, shouldn't do that. It's a bad idea to start smoking cigarettes at 12 years old. But I'm alive, I'm not dying yet, which is great. And I always say I'm very grateful for everything that I have now, especially her and Oliver, because I should be dead. There's so many things that I should have died from, or so many weird situations that I put myself in, put my body in. I should be in jail from the things that I did with my buddies. Hopefully there's no cops watching this. But if you are, hi, I love you, don't arrest me. But yeah, it's just taking ownership. I knew I was a loser. I knew it, but I was too lazy to fix it. And that's a big problem. People are too lazy and they're too scared to fix their issues because they worry about oh, what are my friends gonna think? What are my family gonna think? People worry that if I stop smoking weed tomorrow, my friends aren't gonna hang out with me. Well,
so what?
Those aren't friends, those are losers. Grow up, grow a pair. If you're a woman, I don't know, grow a pair too. But seriously guys, extreme ownership, own your shit. If you're having issues in your life, there's no one else that's gonna change them. If you're a drug addict, no one's gonna help you. If you're poor, there's no one that's gonna help you. No matter how much you think government assistance is great, it's not, okay? Being self-sufficient, worrying about your own issues, whether they're mental, whether they're health related, whatever they are. Her mind was all messed up because of religion. She was all skewed because of that. Now, this isn't an anti-religious campaign. If you're religious, that's fantastic, it's beautiful. If you have faith, that's wonderful. There's a difference between being in a cult and having beliefs. It's two very different things. Now, about to get ran over by some mountain bikers.
Being a victim is easy for a time because you get to blame all your problems on other things. It's great. You don't have to take ownership. There's no accountability. And it'll work for a time, but there will come a time that your lack of ownership is going to bite you in the ass. You're going to realize that you're not somebody that you like. You're not living a life that you want to be living. So as hard as it is, looking inside is the only way to heal yourself. It's uncomfortable. You might not like what you find, but it's incredibly necessary. And once you do the work inward, God, you can just be free. That's the thing. There's so much freedom with taking ownership of your life and your decisions. And it's uncomfortable at first, but it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
If you're in an abusive relationship, it's your choice to stay. If you're poor, it's your choice to stay poor. If you're putting heroin needles in your arms, that is your choice. It was your choice to get addicted, all those good things. Now, A lot of people may not like hearing that. Too bad, don't care, but it's the truth. Owning your life is so critical to future success, whether it's business, whether it's relationship wise. If you're that kind of guy that just keeps having issues in relationships, you keep blaming like girls for all your problems, and you keep saying women are stupid and like all these things, I almost guarantee you 110% you're the problem. It's not the woman. I had a lot of issues like that with women. I always thought that I was right, and I would ignore them during arguments. I thought that was the right way to do it. So I met her. She changed me. Don't do that anymore, because she whipped me into shape, and it's great. So find you a strong woman. Don't marry some weak little sheep, because you will get nowhere as a couple. And to end this video, if you're in a relationship, you and your spouse need to work on this together. It is not something that only one person can do.
Absolutely.
One person cannot be responsible for the relationship. You are both in it, whether you got married, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be. But especially if you're married, you signed a stupid legal document saying that you're gonna love this person forever and ever and ever. But that's not the point of marriage. The point of marriage is to find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with and grow together. It's not to get married and to sit on the couch and get fat. That's not the point of marriage. Like, if you want to do that, just stay single and get fat. I guarantee you being married is a lot more stressful than being single.
That's the biggest reason that our marriage has continued to grow, even though we've been married for like over 3 years, and it keeps getting better, because never once have we ever expected the other person to fix each other's issues. We're always growing, we're always taking accountability, we're always calling each other on our shit, and it's the best dynamic, and it's made for so much growth for us both. I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, and I want to tell you guys, like, you guys see us on camera right now. This wouldn't have happened a couple of years ago. Like, we wouldn't have had this kind of relationship and this kind of back and forth demeanor. It's something that we've built. This isn't overnight. This isn't like we were just born into this. Like, this is a practiced and unlearned skill. And it's just like arguing. Like, yeah, we may seem happy right now, but yeah, we argue about things, and like things don't go right every single day, and our life is stressful and all those things. But we've learned how to argue. We've learned how to fight. We've learned how to reconcile. We've learned how to handle the tough times, so that when things do get tough, it just kind of blows over really quickly, rather than it being like a 10-day process like for some people. They'll get in this huge argument, they won't talk to each other for 10 days, and then they'll wonder why like they're not getting laid by their spouse. So do better, whether you're a couple, whether you're a businessman, whether you're a single person that just has issues getting through life. I promise you, it is your fault. No one's trying to get you down. The government's not trying to get you down. Your friends probably are trying to get you down. They're probably trying to keep you a loser like they are. But moral of the story, do better, try harder, listen to podcasts, watch some crazy videos of successful people, and don't make excuses. There you go. Follow for more non-related eBay videos. Until then, cheers.
Cheers.